from the vault, high atop the pastoral center of the Diocese of Camden, you're listening to Talking Catholic.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Talking Catholic. I'm Jen Mauro, and with me today is not only Mike Walsh, but some other special guests.
No, they're not special guests. This is a hostful. They are hosts. So, you can introduce them. There's Michael Greg Bress to my right.
Yes.
And then there's Peter G. Sanchez across from me at the moment.
Guillermo,
obviously. This is a lovely little pre-summer hostful. We'll get to enjoy it. I just hit the mic stand, so Carrie Janice will appreciate the fact she can never figure out what these weird sounds are. Yeah, I know it's irritating. I hate it. You would think after 7 years I would have got better equipment.
A regular listener always tells me, "What? Can you please tell?" I said, "I'm pretty sure it's just Mike hitting it and moving it around."
That's what
Sometimes
it is.
It's my necklace. I mean, not my necklace, my bracelet hitting the table. But he's like, "It's so loud for the listeners."
I know. I actually go into the system and try to lessen it, but it's annoying.
Yeah.
Listen, we record this at literally a kitchen table that existed in my house in the 1970s.
You're kidding.
Well, this isn't the actual table, but it is the table that we used. So it's a perfect replica.
It is the actual? Oh,
it's not.
replica.
It's exactly
same type of.
So it belongs in a museum.
It does. One day it will.
Oh.
So as anyone listened to last week, I want to apologize because we got so many complaints about last week's podcast, and I blame Mike Bress for this. Actually, we didn't get any complaints about it, but I did get a couple of comments that, wow, that was a dense podcast you guys just had.
Yes,
because we got into a lot of
we did. That was heavy.
Yeah, it was a lot of politics. We got into a bunch of why school choice is a thing.
Yep.
Now, in our defense, we did have 2 PhDs on, so it wasn't going to be remedial.
No.
But it was. But actually, I found it. I learned
Every time.
from it. It was really good. It was a really good conversation.
I'm really looking forward to hearing it because it's an important topic, and I wanted to hear it when I heard what y'all were going to be doing. I was like, well, I can't wait to listen.
Yeah, and different deliveries on the topic with Sarah and Bill.
Mm-hmm.
They both are very passionate in their
settle
way.
down. We already did it.
I'm just saying.
If you want to listen to it, go back and do it.
Yeah, go back and listen
to it. If you missed it, we're going to redo it right now.
I have the transcript right here that I'm going to read verbatim.
We're not giving him a replay. And then
and that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do a hostful.
That's right. You move along.
Yeah.
And then obviously, not obviously, but not to the listener, but for us, Pete and Lori were actually in the podcast. It's his second podcast of the day he's recording. He did a Talking Saints earlier with Lori Power that's going to come out in July. That's you guys recorded that in advance. We have another one that's already in the chamber for June.
Yeah.
And then Jen just got back from Cabo.
I did.
She did. She was out there with a friend, enjoying the sights and sounds. All right, she was just drinking the whole time, but I'm told she had a nice time. But somehow she came back whiter. We haven't figured out how that happened.
Stop! I have a nice tan.
There is weirdly a very strong debate going on.
I know
the tan conversation.
It has been a topic of
Pete's
conversation.
first comment today was, "Did you go anywhere?"
You don't have tan.
Wait a minute, you told people?
Of course I did.
And where else does he? Yeah, where else does he learn it? On a recorded podcast?
Yeah, he doesn't. No, because I said, "Do I look tan?" And yeah, why? He says I don't look tan, and I feel tan.
Jen, I did not know that was not. I'm sorry if I didn't. I didn't mean to offend anybody if I did. Okay.
You did it.
Oh no, you totally did. But
No,
she's
you
just been
didn't.
nice.
Do not listen to these guys. I was just busting.
No, I guess I've seen really, really tan people in my life, and you're not on that
would be
tan
the opposite.
spectrum.
I'm not one of them.
No, not yet. No, but you're not.
That's referred to as a ghost tan. What she has.
Like ghost tan. Look, people, I am burnt. Okay, just not on my face. It's like on my back and my shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, but yes, that's where I was.
And then we
gone.
put you to work as soon as you walked in the door this morning.
Yeah, I came back on a Friday, which is odd, right? No, who does that? So I walked in on Friday and immediately was whisked away.
Yeah, we did a quick video recording with Bishop Williams today, and he is, as many of you may have heard in previous podcasts, Atlantic City will be the host city of the Catholic Media Conference in 2026, and I will be at the 2025 conference in Phoenix, and There's usually a welcome message that's put out during or prior to the Catholic Media Association's Press Awards, Media Awards, on the final evening of the conference. So we're recording Bishop, and I believe Jen got to do something she's never had the opportunity to do before. Or maybe she has, but this is the first time she did it without causing injury.
No, I have done it before.
You have done it?
Yeah, with Sister Emily for
that's right, of
her
course.
show. I did the little snappy guy,
The clapper,
the clapper, like when you're like take one and take two.
which she audibly said it every time she did it.
I did. I wanted to. I know it wasn't needed because I've done it with Sister Emily, but I just wanted to goof off. So I was like, take one. And I don't know if Bishop even knows that's not needed, but I was like, I'm doing it.
I'm willing to bet he
Every
knows.
time I did it, Mike just looked away with like that sad shake of the head
It's like,
that he
well,
does.
Bishop's already thinks we're not that professional. Now we're really showcasing it. It was actually nice though.
Actually, he knocked it out of the park.
He did.
He is a natural.
He really is a natural. No teleprompter. Just gave him a couple of ideas, and he took it from there. And knocked it out. So he's really good on camera. Matter of fact, he was very impressed that we weren't doing with iPhones. He was like, "Oh, this is like a real setup." I'm like, "Yeah." And then I dropped the hint of, we could really use a studio for this.
And by
that's
hint,
how it's
it
done.
really wasn't.
That wasn't
Yeah,
it
it
at
was
all.
pretty much a demand at
It was
that
a heavy
point.
hit.
Directly
Heavy hit.
asked for it.
Just because I know we talk a lot about like production and doing this kind of stuff, and Mike will appreciate. I've been watching a lot of the Welcome to Wrexham documentary, and they allow the guys to do either the clacker, or have their hands clap. And the one goalie broke his wrist, and they were interviewing them, and they asked him to do it, not hard, but to do it, and he actually couldn't make a sound because the pad on his arm.
Yeah.
And so they had to bring somebody in to do it. Just a funny, poor guy is that hurt.
If you ever wonder, by the way, why the clacker exists, it actually exists so that you can marry the video to the audio. So it's an obvious spike when you put it together and you see it. You can also do it via clapping your hands or stuff like that. People actually now do it on Zoom podcasts. Like, we do our Zoom podcast wrong, to be honest with you. What you're really supposed to do is everyone's supposed to have either a recording device in front of them or their iPhone or something like that, and just using the voice recording feature. And then everybody does a clap, and then they send you the files, and then you marry them together so that the audio quality is a lot better.
Oh, wow.
We just use the Zooms, which is why it always sounds like garbage.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Listener.
No,
You're
I think-
welcome, listeners.
Yeah.
I think, Jen, I like your definition of it. Maybe we could petition the MPAA to get the clacker to the snappy guy.
Snappy guy.
Snappy
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
like snappy guy.
Now, the thing is, I think the thing you were doing, take one, take two, is so, ordinary. What I do, and it makes me think of what they do, like Star Wars. And Mike, you must be happy, Mike Walsh, because I'm talking about Star Wars.
Absolutely.
No, because I read an interview with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen when they were doing episode 3. When they were doing the lightsabers, they just happened while filming, doing the swish, swish,
Oh, yeah,
zoom,
they're making
zoom.
the noises,
And
yeah.
then they were like, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
Luke was
it's
like, don't do
screwing up
that.
the
We're just
audio.
gonna, and yeah, but
There's
I
actually-
would have been doing it.
There's actually, I forget if it was Star Wars or something else, but there are a couple of, now I wish I could remember what the movie was, but you actually see the people going pew pew and bang bang. Oh, it happened in Running Scared, one of my favorite movies from the 80s, with Billy Crystal and a super funny dude who's a famous dancer who passed away recently, and I can't remember his name all of a
Gene
sudden.
Wilder?
No.
Patrick.
No, it was an African American guy, and I can't remember his name right now. That's going to really annoy me. Anyway, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But there's a shooting scene in the middle of it, and you actually see the actors going bang, 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 bang. They're actually mouthing bang, bang while they're doing
wow.
the shooting scenes. It takes place in Chicago. It's a epic, funny movie
have to see
that
this
I really
movie.
love. But mid-'80s, really good. But so anyway, but we've had a little fun time. You've actually been quite busy, Mike.
Quite busy, yeah. It's high school graduation week, so we started this past Sunday with Holy Spirit High School down in their school is in Absecon, but they had their graduation in Galloway, right across from Assumption Catholic School, where a lot of the kids went to elementary school. So it's a nice little full circle moment. And we have Camden at the time of the recording. We have Camden Catholic High School in Cherry Hill tonight to finish off. I really enjoy it. I said to a few folks, this is the first time this is my third year doing graduations and being with the diocese. It's the first year of how weirdly close I'm going to be to these families in a very short period of time. So my oldest is going to be in 8th grade next year, so we'll have that sort of elementary grade school graduation. But then, as the president of Paul VI, Mike Chambers, said last night, he said it will be gone in a blink, And it was, but I watched around these people going, I'm going to weirdly be here in very relatively short period of time.
Hold on.
All right, 8th grade graduation.
Okay. Even at that pitch, I understood what he was talking about. My son went through all 8 years of grade school, and he graduates, God willing, high school next year. What emotions am I supposed to be feeling?
Happiness, but this one's tougher. Happiness,
Well, you
maybe
said,
a little bit of sadness.
You said getting close to families?
No, I just I was seeing these families be excited for their kids, and it was weirdly relatable, more relatable than when I'm there typically, which is just to grab some social media, and I could vision myself in the crowd. And in fact, to the point where my wife said already, I mean, this is literally 5 years away, and so who knows what happens in those 5 years, but she says, you're gonna take off for his graduation. You're not going to run around with your phone doing social media video at that graduation. I said, well, we'll see.
Is that what I'm supposed to do next year?
Mike,
Not work?
Greg is putting in 6 years in advance a day off.
It's in Paycor already. No, it was just it's just seeing the families. The kids are absolutely excited, but just seeing the parents and feeling that I've never. Just looking at it and going, wow, yeah, this is weirdly closer than it's ever been to
okay, if I can offer a counterpoint. I drive my son and 2 of his classmates to school every single day. And this past week in particular, the thought I've been saying to myself is, well, he's going to drive next year, so I will not have to do this again.
I may feel like you at that point.
I'm so ready for him to be done high school. I am ready. I'm glad he's getting a good education. He's got lots of friends. It's been a great experience for him. But no. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm going to feel that I'll be with the kids joyously rejoicing as we are finally done I will get up with them, and PVI does this beautiful swaying thing where all the seniors get together and sing the alma mater and arm in arm while they're swaying. I'm going to jump into the middle of that. Even as a Gloucester Catholic graduate, yes, guys, we've done it. We're out.
He's going to walk the stage.
I do want this recording.
I want a diploma.
Yeah, I do want this recording 6 years from now. And when I'm going, I'm just glad it's done, because I'll be you driving my kid to high school every day up in this area.
Good point.
I mean, I am so done with this. I did love hearing, because you catch people as they're leaving. I just love so many people hearing them go, well, we don't have to pay tuition anymore, or something like that. The little joys that the parents have versus the kids. Yes, wonderful, great education. Oh, we don't have to send in a check next year for tuition.
I'd be lying if I said my wife didn't have that one figured out already. She's like, okay, we'll have this much money back. But then it's all about, what scholarships is he going to get next year? And I'm like, hey, there's always the military or getting a job. Let's not assume. But everything is open.
Yes.
Yep.
But this is the first year I haven't had to cover any of the graduations.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. And it genuinely has been nice. But I have thoroughly enjoyed seeing them on our social media posts, and the photos. Our photographers have really done a great job this year. We have 3 great photographers doing it. Lori Nichols and Carlos
Otero.
And Joe Warner. Him, that name I remember. Joe Warner, Gloucester Catholic grad. All of us Gloucester Catholic grads have to stay together.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Me, him, John Kalitz.
And Pete went to graduation, PVI's graduation.
Yeah, I went there
Thursday
yesterday.
Evening, right?
Yeah, no, that was really nice. I do appreciate going every year. I think I've been to the majority of the high school graduations over the years, and there's just the joy, and on the parents who I speak to, the children. Bill Watson, who I talked to, he mentioned the joy.
The exhausted Bill Watson.
Yes.
He actually seemed pretty good. I don't know how he'll be tonight.
Yeah,
he rallies for the graduation.
He's
but even
himself up.
Mike was talking to me a little bit about it earlier. Not that it's a slog. I mean, I know he loves doing it.
Yeah.
But it is. He did 5 graduations in 5 days?
So it'll be 5 and 6 days. Yeah, in 6 days.
That is, I mean, you figure that each one is 2 hours, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
and the bishop, by the way, the bishops deserve credit for that too, because Bishop Sullivan did the first one. Bishop Williams has done a couple now since.
Mm-hmm. I'll share that Bishop Williams, Paul VI has a small dinner and some drinks and things for the teachers, the administration. and the priests that attend the graduation afterwards. And both Pete and I were able to go in and grab something to eat. And Bishop Williams was sitting there, and I said, "One more, Bishop," and he said, "Yeah, I may need the Rocky theme just prior to tomorrow night to get me geared up." This is Bishop Williams' first time doing graduations with us, and it's been phenomenal. His homilies have been great. Bishop Sullivan's at Holy Spirit was fantastic, but he really does exude that joy. He talks to a few of the families afterwards if he's able to stand with them as they go outside, and it has been great. So I'm sure Bill, Bishop Williams, everybody will be taking a much needed rest this weekend and retool for next week.
Jen, can you guess how irritated I might be right now? And do you know why I'm irritated?
I do.
Okay.
They were primo hoagies.
Because you know what?
That's the answer to that question.
The
that's coming.
photographers never get invited to that because we got to go and we got to start crunching all of our photos, editing everything, getting it up on social media, doing all that work. I don't recall. I've never been invited for snack time with the bishops afterwards.
Hoagies.
I had the blurb done before I went in there.
Oh,
just
good.
as
Good.
Really? Was
I
that
sent it. Yeah.
7 sentences really wore you out, huh?
3 paragraphs, but yes. on a phone. So
Yeah.
maybe total 7 sentences.
It is amazing how that works. Like you write it all out on your phone, and then I was
It
like,
looks-
"Wow, that's long." And then I put it on. It's like, "Wait, what?"
What? That's 3 sentences.
That's just 3 sentences.
They were very kind to. I truthfully, I do feel very strange going in there because typically we don't. And I was also just ready to go home at that point. But I thought I'll come in and grab a bottle of water, have a little sandwich.
Were you invited in?
Yes. Yeah.
No, he just
Mike-
crashed the
Yeah,
graduation
I just-
party.
Well, no, I was actually hoping he was crashed because then I'd be slightly less annoyed.
Oh, no.
Because I've never even been invited.
Well, Mike's part of Mike's job is PR. He's got to get up and do PR work.
I really hope all of the presidents of the high schools are listening to this right now.
Well, there's still one left. You can go tonight to Camden Catholic and go get your invite.
No, I'm good. I'm fine.
No, I think the thing with Mike and I, one of the games we played was the remember the how long it took to read the one from the beginning graduate to the end, and I actually won that yesterday.
He did. We were standing with the photographer Joe Warner, and it is our largest high school class, graduating high school class at Paul VI, and the 3 of us are standing back there, and Joe just said, "How long do you think this is going to take?" And I said, "Oh, that's a good question." He says, "All right, let's all put in a time." And I just have no sense of time, I guess, at this point, because I said it's going to take about 10 minutes, and they both sort of laughed. Mm-hmm. And I think Joe said 17 minutes, and Pete was closer to 20, I think, right, or 19.
Yeah, I said I think it was at 19.
Joe is just so great because he looked down at his watch and said, "Pete said it started at this time," and he looked at me and went, "You're out." And they weren't halfway through the names, and I was like, "Yeah, I definitely underestimated that." 10 minutes. It ended up being closer to about 20 minutes, but all the kids go up on stage, their name is read, and they have over 240 students graduate. So it takes some time, but again, as we ask every year, we ask the clapping to wait until the end, and everybody was gracious enough to do that. But then it is a really neat scene when they all clap at the end for everybody and have a moment to celebrate everybody. But it does take a little while.
What was neat too about the graduation, it made me think of the Star Herald because I forget his first name. He's on the board of trustees at PVI. His name is Finley.
Okay.
It's Joe.
I don't know.
I'm sorry because I had a conversation with him, and his father used to write for the paper, Pete Finley.
Oh, really?
And he had, if you go back to I think the 80s, he had a column for Pete's Sake. And I joked with him.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's funny. I joked with him. I said, "You know what? Your father took my idea. I cannot use a column called For Pete's Sake anymore." And he laughed. And I said, "It's nice to carry on the tradition of Pete."
Change
it for Pete's Rant.
Oh,
Just make it an angry diatribe every couple of months.
Oh, Mike, you don't want to see that.
You know what? Thank you for the warning. I appreciate that.
Wow, you got super serious with that. No smile. There's like fire in his eyes. You don't want to see that.
Yeah.
We should also mention that the number of departures. As our graduates move on, we actually had a departure as well from our own group. 2 of our favorite people. Well, one and a half of our favorite people have departed the diocese as part of their retirement. Anna Summers, my beloved Anna Summers, the Vicar General's secretary, she retired this past week, and they had their retirement party on Wednesday for her and Dolores Oriel. Dolores is still staying on in a part-time capacity as Bishop Sullivan's secretary during his time as emeritus. But Anna and Dolores have been on the podcast before. They are fantastic. Everyone, Pete, has wept at the article you did on Anna Summers' departure. My mother loved it. My mother-in-law loved it. I never get positive things from the mother-in-law like that. She went out of her way to email me and let me know that she loved that article. I'm told Anna got quite teary-eyed and was quite embarrassed by it, so success there. Good job with that. Now, I encourage people to go read it because she worked for the diocese for 50 years. Incredible. And she could not have been more dedicated, and her faith was such a motivating factor in why she stayed for 50 years, in addition to wanting to be part of, bringing people to God and bringing God to people. It's a beautiful story, and Pete did a great job of writing it. So I want people to read it. But know that there will not be an article about Dolores because she has banned it. However, the plan right now is for me to get her a little tipsy, get her on the podcast. We'll talk to her for 45 to 50 minutes, and then we'll write an article based on that.
I was going to say, Mike, what is your favorite food? Could we take her out to wine and dine her?
Why my food? We need to take her out for her favorite food.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you said my favorite food.
No, I don't want to know your favorite food. I want to know her favorite food.
I believe my favorite food is all.
I was going to say no one cares, but...
That's also perfectly appropriate.
Is this Pete's rant? Are we doing Pete's rant right now?
I think he's coming in hot.
The opening salvos for his first rant column.
No, I say that all with love. You know, Mike.
Changed.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, so Dolores is still working, and we see her. So I went to their retirement party. I should say I went to their retirement party. I know. Listen.
Wait, you did?
I did. So that I know it's a shocking turn of events.
I don't even think I asked you because I assumed you didn't go.
Of course, because I do not attend extracurricular activities with our colleagues because I see them all the time. Why would I want to see them later?
Exactly.
That is the depth of my love for Anna. So when I get there, it was a nice turnout. I guess there's 30, 40 people there. It was a nice place in Blackwood that they had it at. I walk in. Dolores is gobsmacked because I've walked in.
Of course.
And I was like, yeah, well, here's the deal. You work on my floor, every couple of days, so I didn't come to see you. And I turned my back on her. I made a beeline for Anna, gave her a giant hug, talked to her for a few minutes, and then left. That's exactly. I did not stick around.
But you showed up.
Yeah,
that's huge.
I know. And I mean,
that's huge.
I don't. If anyone's wondering whether or not I have fondness for you, it means I show up to something after hours.
Yeah.
These people have never seen me once it gets dark.
There's a dark web conspiracy theory of where that comes out. Of what's going on after.
There you go.
Like after dark.
Like after
Do
dark.
we want to know that?
There's a column.
Yeah.
Like after dark.
You'll never know.
Walsh's. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Try. You know what? This is one you guys could probably drop, but that's all right. But anyway, it was a lovely event. I'm glad they did it for Anna. It was a wonderful turnout. Everybody of note was there. Both bishops was there. Most, if not all, of the directors were there. Good. Lots of staff, previous people. Anna's husband was there. Anna's husband is an absolute delight. People probably heard from the past that I went to high school with Anna's daughter, also Anna Summers, and always loved hanging out with Anna. Because we were at the end of the alphabet, we were in a lot of classes together, a lot of homerooms together, kind of bedeviled her a little bit, but she was absolutely one of my favorite people, and her mother was equally a favorite. So congratulations to Anna Summers on 50 years well spent within the diocese, and I will greatly miss her, but I'm very happy that she can actually enjoy these retirement years with her husband. I know they're planning on traveling and seeing grandbabies and stuff like that. So
that kind of number is very hard to repeat
50
these days. Like,
Oh, yeah.
50 years at an organization. I mean,
Yeah.
those days, even 25 now is like an anomaly. I feel like so many
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't have that affiliation. I mean, here you have the priests who have their jubilees and that vocation is just different. But to have a lay employee be here for 50 years is incredible.
Yeah. It will not happen to me.
And she was on the podcast.
I'm not sure
Her
I'll make
and-
it double digits, actually.
Her, Dolores, and Susan were on the podcast a year or two ago, and the three of them talked about their years here, decades here, and it was a delight to hear
was.
how they've changed, the diocese changed, the different bishops, and that was awesome.
Yeah, and their plan from the very, very beginning was to sort of jettison it around the same time. So and they kind of held to it. They knew they were going to stay here for the transition from bishops, and then their retirement. I'd met their replacements, Claudia and Ileana, and Patty are really nice, wonderful. Wonderful people. Patty knows her stuff, and she's the executive assistant to the bishop, and she is a world-class gatekeeper right there. She knows what she's doing, knows the stuff. She's fantastic. And Ileana and Claudia just joined this week, but I got to meet them. They could not have been nicer and friendlier. And one comes from Brooklyn, the other comes from Texas. Yeah.
Oh, hey, you didn't tell me that.
Tyler.
Texas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Not too far from where I grew up.
yeah. So so anyway, they're both great. So we look forward to working with them in the very near future. So it's good
great.
times.
Yeah.
I'm excited they're Spanish. I'll be able to practice my Spanish with them more.
Oh, really? Because Andrea in my office is Peruvian, and I never see you talking to her.
Well, that's
she's
just-
literally in the building one
I don't
floor
see
above
her
you.
enough. Marinella, we practice Spanish.
You do.
They
Oh,
do.
do you?
Yeah.
You do.
They do.
Si, senor.
I do.
I'm witness to that.
Gracias, amigo.
I do my Duolingo every day, and I do it loud enough so that Andrea in their office can hear it. And she's not once critiqued it. 'Cause I kind of hope she'd like come and go, no, you got that one wrong. But whatever. But she did give me good advice. She says as you're working on it, and I did actually take her advice. She says learn the Spain Spanish as opposed to any of the dialects of from Latin America. Only because the Spain one is sort of like right down the middle, as opposed to the dialects have a lot of like unique. It's like the difference between upstate New York and Mississippi. There's this big difference in dialect there. So
Well, that's interesting. My father grew up in Cuba, and his mother was from Spain. Mm-hmm. His father, my grandfather, we're not sure. We think he probably was from Venezuela. So my father, it's funny with the dialect, I always thought car was máquina. Mm-hmm. But then, I went to school, máquina is machine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute.
isn't
So,
car
yeah,
carro?
it's car too. Yeah. In Cuba, máquina, people know car. But carro is
yeah.
in Spanish. I'm still trying to roll my R's.
Me too. I don't roll R's well.
I can't.
Duolingo makes fun of me all the time for not
not being
rolling
It's
my R's.
impossible for me to roll R's. I've tried forever. I can't do it.
So are we all going to try right now? Is that what we're doing? Or no?
That does sound like
1, 2, 3.
challenge.
The listeners do not need to be abused with that. But
I'll guarantee you, they're all listening. Anybody listening right now is shaking their head, saying, "Yes, we do."
That'll be the first comment on.
Yeah,
On social
we got some
media.
negative
We want
feedback.
the
We want
R's.
the R's.
So I meant to tell you this, Jen, since you were away for a while Bress's episode last week was, roundly criticized. The one prior to that, the one we did with Woodbury Station Cafe, with
That was
Carrie
really good.
and Johnny Avarno. God, sorry, Johnny, I can't remember how to pronounce your last name. That one we got a ton of great response from. Johnny was such a joy, and we realized that we should probably do some more Catholic entrepreneur, particularly of the restaurant variety. So I'm telling you this, Jen, specifically because we've done a lot of breakfasty things, and there's now a request for us to do more pub, restaurant, drinking related ones.
I see how you would immediately give
Okay,
me.
so I'm just telling you that think about our advertisers now. Maybe make some inroads to our connections in the Gloucester City area, where there's more bars per capita there than anywhere else in the world. Just giving you some ideas. We're coming up to the summer. We should be looking for some fun, light podcast ideas.
Are you going to say that you're actually going to dine with me outside of the building?
No, I'm sending one of these idiots.
No, can I just give a fair warning? Mike, can I talk about Mike Bress, Greg Bress?
Yeah.
Do I have a permission to talk about our long gestating project?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I just don't want you to take
Just
our
know
D.
that you have 3.5 minutes.
No.
Yeah. It'll be
Well,
quick.
I'll make this quick because now we really have to do this. So over the past year, Mike and I have talked about a project outside of work called Burgers and Books, where we will go to a different place and we'll talk about what book we're reading. And then we'll critique our books and critique a burger, right?
Yes.
And
I'm a big fan of burgers and books, and
yeah,
Pete brought
me
that idea
too.
to me, and I said,
We'll
as long
talk
as,
about-
as long as the schedule works out, I'm happy to do both of those things.
And not really a theme. It'll be where are we going to go, round robin, and we talk about the book we're going to read. It's not really going to be
Diners.
like, I guess we could do Blue Cheese, and if there's a Blue like Jazz, which is a good book. Actually, yeah.
You'll be
Dan-
better at that than me. See, I just read what I read. And you're better
Golf.
at making these connections, generally speaking.
Yeah.
That true crime or other sports. That's literally
crime or
yeah,
golf, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it?
Oh my gosh.
Literally, that's what's
So
rarely fiction.
this is Pete and Mike Book Club and Burger Club.
Yeah, kind of
Essentially,
burgers
yeah.
and books.
Yeah.
Peter, and I'm
This
thinking
is-
about
you s-
making this Instagram.
You said this has been long gestating.
Probably, yeah.
All right. I look forward to not having to worry about this. but if you guys do pull it off and actually do it, remember what my rule is. If you're going to do a project, it's on you, and you must remain consistent with it. So
Agreed.
no starting it, doing one, and then never getting back to it again.
No, yeah.
No, we'll be independent, but I think now that you've set the challenge down, you're throwing it down, we're going to pick it up.
I'm happy to hear
There's been
this.
so much like
I don't know why we're here.
I don't
Jen,
either. I
because
like
this
really
would
like
have
that
been.
Mike and Pete are sitting across from each other. Like it started, everybody, with
Yeah.
Pete actually sitting in Mike's seat.
Yes,
And Mike was
yeah.
like, get out of my seat.
That
So
set
it
the tone.
started right at the
I
beginning.
believe what I said was he's in my spot. Wait. Did you just say that this is going to be an independent production?
Yeah, well,
Hey, are you signing us
I'll
right now?
gladly get paid for this.
Well,
I'll
let me.
gladly
No.
get comp burgers and comp books.
No, I love the idea of this being an independent project.
Wow, that happened quickly.
Darn it. Open my big mouth.
No, this is fantastic. I look forward to seeing it happen.
Oh, I think it's going to happen now. I feel like you've thrown down a little gauntlet.
I am. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. So I'm 100% throwing down the gauntlet. Now, by the way,
Pete's mouth is hanging open.
this is what I will.
You can tell
fighting words.
who's the non-competitive of the two of us because
This
I'm
is-
sitting here quietly. this all transpires.
Here's the
Why
deal.
not?
It's not getting it done. I don't care if you guys do one episode to start with, but you have to do whatever your whether it's going to be monthly or something like that. When you have done 12 of them, I will say that you have accomplished your task.
Okay.
Whether it's done
Fair.
weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever your routine is, quarterly. When you have done 12 of them, I will accept defeat.
Fair enough.
Is that a fair?
I think that's fair.
That's
Okay.
fair, but we're just going to...
Doesn't have to be on our dime. I look forward to seeing this
Yeah,
on your
no,
dime.
Mike and I are just going to run our own race.
I know. I can't wait to see.
All right.
It's really, honestly, it's the technological end. I can't wait to find out and see how that goes.
Oh, Mike's got down now. And what?
That would be him.
Oh, okay. Well, because you sat in the seat, I just assumed you knew what you were doing.
Touche.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel better now.
That's for saying I wasn't tan.
And on that note,
Right.
we're going to wrap up this episode for our podcast listeners. However, for our DCM listeners, we have a special edition of Talking Saints about to follow. We'll talk to you all again next week. See you, everybody.